have the app, right? But, right? We'll still have access to the app, but it won't, won't be able to get updates as of right now. Apparently, the CEO is meeting with, I'm sorry. The CEO is meeting with Trump on Monday after the inauguration, I read. But yes, that's true. I didn't get out of here. There are like, no, don't be sad. It's the end of an era. All good things come to an end, right? That's a good idea. Actually, Doggy Love it if you update ahead of time. You know what I mean? But you still, it'll slow the app down. That's just the truth of it. Also, that's true. There are a lot of us, like, so I have, my main account is monetized, right? So you have, like, even though I get paid for views, gifts, and subscriptions, right? I get 3 separate payments. Do you follow me? It doesn't all come at once. It's separated. I didn't get it all either. I just, you know. Hi, Rat. Hi. So I know that it's a problem, but I can't. So they changed. That's the crazy thing. Sorry. I learned a lesson 50 accounts ago when I lost like 200 or 300 in gifts, because you used to be able to manually pay out, right? They thought that they were getting around to stop. Ames, you're a little too invested, babe. They changed that to try to get around the panhandling that was used on the app, right? I can't even get into the account. It's still an appeal. They tried to get around the panhandling and made it so that it only paid out on Wednesdays, and subscription and views are paid out on the 15th. So they changed all that. So when it used to be that an account got banned, you didn't get coins, gifts, nothing. You got nothing. So it is what it is, right? Right, but I wish that's who I honestly feel bad for is, well, right, you won't be able to recharge. I feel bad for like the small businesses, right? Or like the content creators that like this was their income. You follow me? Those are the people I feel sorry for, because unfortunately it's just cut. So like if you're somebody that is making, I love Selena Graves, right? She was, thank you. She was she's a musician. The Animal Rescues, that's who I feel for. It doesn't necessarily go to the App Store. It doesn't necessarily affect me, right? But I understand that it does have serious detrimental effects on people that rely on it. You know what I mean? But I follow Selena, and the amount of gifts that girl gets is fucking right. Those are the ones that were smart. The people that took the $4,000 or $5,000 that they were making a day, right? A day, y'all. Ali is still killing it in ranks. Okay, he's making thousands a day. Though I hope social media has never been a reliable stream of income, right? Because there's too many changes within that structure. So I hope that they were smart enough to do things with the money. You know what I mean? Because otherwise that's sad. That's awful. The good thing is a lot of them are young, right? Like the battlers and Highland, stuff like that. They're young. But like when you stop going to college, because it's too unpredictable. It really is. Hi, Lois. And that's another thing, right? I saw a friend of mine posted, hi Beans, you getting any trouble today? A friend of mine posted a picture of Miss Ashy Cat, and was like, if it wasn't for this one, I would have never met a lot of y'all, right? And that's the truth. Unfortunately, you get, I will say, just me, right? Like, this app comes with more negative for me than positive. Crimson. Yeah. So, like, it's like, do I understand that for the content consumer, right? What the fuck posted, hi, what the fuck posted a, she told people to go watch, I'll just play, I'll play the video. Anna, I thought you said you didn't have Twitter, babe. See, this is what a lot of people that are around don't necessarily understand, right? There are people that have all kinds of professions, right? You know, the ones that you claimed to have. There are people around here that are very good with computers and can access deleted things, right? Or things you tried to hide, I should say. It all comes out, y'all. It all comes out. But yes, the Twitter account, somebody posted, what the fuck, posted a video telling people to go and look, and you could see it. It's all there. So clearly, well, the account was terminated, but she doesn't understand that when you do, or you think, I should say, you're gonna do something like I do, right? Everything you've done is gonna be dug through. Everything you have done will be dug through and posted. I agree. I'm just being honest. I did hear that. I don't mind if Mandy streams me. But somebody that sent me a bunch of reviews that she had left on, like, companies, not Twitter. These weren't Twitter. It was separate. Somebody sent me a bunch of them in my email. And it was Karen-esque, if you will. So it appears that it's a pattern of behavior, right? Unfortunately for her, that YouTube is never going to go anywhere. YouTube is a much harder platform to sustain. Oh my God, it's so bad. Major, Chisman, major. Also, I know Lori went on a rant this morning. I was trying to correct some comments on, hi Birdie, it's this page. They have it. What is it that you have done that is so terrible? People have a problem with what I do, right? Hi, Panda. Sometimes the people that are on the receiving ends of what I do, they just hate it, right? And the truth of it is, hi, I always, you hear me? I always give them an out. Every time. Every single person that I've covered, I have up front said, hey, this is wrong, can you fix it? They choose to go the other direction, and it just never ends well. That's just the truth of it. Hi, Wanda. And it's because Nicole said something about Mandy. So I didn't talk to Nicole until after this was very much it was a situation, right? I didn't talk to Nicole until after that. But she doesn't, hi, chasing crime. She doesn't know how to tell the truth either. And it's unfortunate. I don't know. It's unfortunate because I'll never understand it. The truth is just so much easier to maintain, right? And when you continue to lie, even though, like, this wasn't a simple oops, you know what I mean? It was legitimately everything that she's done, lied about, being disproven, and put in her face, and she continued. No, they always double down. I did. I'm going to touch on Lori for a bit. They always double down. Why? Because at that point in time, I've already seen that there's a pattern there. You follow me? So I already know that they're not gonna. With her, I thought that she might. But this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand, right? Right, and it's wild. Yeah, I'm gonna get to her. Because it's all they have. And a lot of it isn't even the truth. Right? So that they cling to whatever falsehood they think is gonna hurt me, right? What they don't understand is that the truth is the only thing that is going to the truth is the only thing that is absolute defense. Do you hear me? Not only does it protect me from litigation, because it does, because the truth is protected speech, right? It's so much, and it's I think it's this environment, right? People, like, I get used all the time. Proximity to information, people use me all the time. So I try to keep my circle super small. Like, do I have relationships with people? Yeah, because it's necessary, right? Listen, even if I wanted to lie, my face would tell you. And that's just the truth of it. Hi, Beak Rose. Lori. Lori is trying to provoke Andy for a reaction, okay? I'm going to maintain what I said a week ago, and please just let it be, right? Because I don't believe her that even if her CPS case was closed, she's already been charged, okay? That's something totally different. So even if they close that CPS case, she's going to have to answer for that, and the burden of proof is on her, right? I know there's a couple of people that I had commented on their videos of Lori yesterday, and I need any instances of neglect, exploitation, abuse. It has to be with original metadata. Get in touch with me. I will give you a Dropbox link to upload to, and that Dropbox link will just be handed over, right? Neglect. Okay, perfect. Right, so I did that too, Krissa, right? I did that too. When I decided that I was going to start posting about Miss Ashy Cat, I doxed myself. My name, my date, and my location. Nobody really paid attention to it. And then Jessica Hessler came along. You know what I mean? That's allowed right now, right? And also, I did want to explain the difference between custody, because it seems to be some confusion. Hi, OJ. Between custody and guardianship. They are two very different things, okay? Guardianship just means that he will have legal ability to do certain things, doctors, schools, you know what I'm saying? It's very different, right? Oh my goodness, it's wild. Also, a custody document from 2010 is not relevant in 2025, you know? Those things could change at any time. Right, exactly. I don't know, and I really don't agree with, like, you doxed your whole kids. You know what I mean? I just can't. I'll never understand why people put their children, right? Like, they should be. Sorry. They should be your most protected. But for some reason on this app, we come across parent after parent after parent that puts these things in front of that. And it's unfortunate. And I really wonder when TikTok, if TikTok goes, how all of these people are gonna live. you know? It could be, right? It could, I don't know. I don't know. But that be gross, that was the point in what I wanted to get out. Hi, Mommy Amy. I want people to still, exactly. I want people to still leave what I've said previously about that situation. 8 Mile Ewa. Listen, somebody emailed me one of her Facebook comments. Let me explain something to you, okay? You're good, have a good day. The last maybe month of my mom's life, her text messages were so illegible, like they weren't very clear, you know what I mean? So I became an expert at deciphering text messages, right? That's what this was. It was like the longest run-on sentence I had ever seen in my life. Okay? Thank you. The longest. And just talking about crazy shit. So again, hashtag patterns, right? Yeah. So I just want people to not...
Power off.
Sorry. I just want people to let it be, right? Just let it be. Right. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I understand, like, there are some people that ask me how to, not right now, that ask me how they could get into something like this. And I tell everybody the same thing. Be ready. People are going to dig. People get curious. It's legitimately the nature of how this goes. There's no way to stop it. You can't stop it, even if you wanted to stop it. So the best thing that I could say, be honest. Don't lie. Because people generally, they generally will accept things. Yeah. They'll generally accept things about people, especially if they see that it's different, right? You follow me? And people just people are just crazy. I agree, Kathy, but not everybody lives like that. And I understand that, but I think that, like, a lot of us, especially if you're an addict in recovery, right? Those are two very important parts of recovery. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's all so crazy. Right, Clover, how are you feeling? And the truth of it is perfectly normal to be friends with somebody for a couple of months and then realize, shit, this isn't the type. Exactly, Birdie, thank you. That is the only thing I truly care about. It's perfectly normal to meet somebody, become like friendly with them, and then 4 months, 5 months later, you figure out, this person really isn't my kind of thing, right? And you back away. What happens after that is truly what dictates people's character, because you'll see people sling screenshots all over the place, right? Don't say anything in text that you can't, and you can't even trust the phones these days. You know what I mean? But that's normal. It's normal when you meet people to be like, maybe this isn't for me, All right, there's ways to find it, and that's just the unfortunate part, right? Like, there's always going to be, hi, Lily. I say it all the time, there's always going to be somebody better than me, right? So what makes people look bad is when they think that they are the best, and then somebody comes along and disproves everything, proving that they were lying. Then you're fucked. It's just better to be honest, honestly. I don't think that that's true, because there certainly are some people that I've met through Shotface. My merch website should be up today, actually. Exactly, Terry. There are certain people that I met throughout the last 4 or 5 years that have changed my life. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, that the lessons, like, right, exactly, Chisman, that too, but there's also, I have learned so many lessons. Like in the last 5 years, I've probably learned more lessons than the last 20 prior to that. Yes, he asked me for the links and the pictures he wanted me to use last night. I sent them to him. So he told me the website should be up today. Once it's up, I will post the link. And listen, but I've been there too, right? Beautiful Madness. I have defended people that I should not have defended. Right? And this, it happens. It happens. But guess what? Guess what? When you know better, you do better. Right? And when I learned that there was a situation that I was not going to align myself with, I distanced myself from that creator. Normal, right, Janelle. I know. Not like these weird fucks that just lie to lie. It's so strange to me. So strange to me. Yeah, you could do that. You could go to and coffee break, but I do that, right? And honestly, that's where I got burned the most, to be honest, is believing that that people were changed human beings. Oh, she's a whole nut job, dude. So you can go, first of all, there are hundreds of been verifieds. Hi, witchy woman, right? There are hundreds of sites like that, right? Give me a second, y'all. Hi. Sorry, it was my daughter. I forgot what I was just gonna say now. Yes, I did get a bunch of emails. The girl that is making my server is she's in the hospital. Hi, Miracles. So until she gets out, I'm not gonna push her about it. I'm just not gonna do that. When she feels better, she could make it. Oh, thank you. There are hundreds of them, right? And even if you have your information removed from one, they'll be on another. I did have a friend. There is an attorney that you could go, like you could pay an attorney to scrub everything off the internet. I was going to, no, this is my backup. I was going to, do that after I got arrested with the sanitation workers. I was going to do that. I chose not to. Because the truth of it is, the things that I did in my life, I don't have many regrets. Victoria's series will be on YouTube anyway. Because everything that I've done made me who I am, right? So I don't really have regrets, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, people don't do what I do and double check information before it comes out of their mouth, and then they would just wind up look stupid, right? And that's not me, that's somebody else. But you can contact websites that do background checks, and you can have them remove your information. It will probably take you 3 weeks because there are so many sites. Paid sub on YouTube. I missed it, I'm sorry. Right, exactly, sailing nuts, and that's just not for me. It is hard, but hi, Petty Puss. It's not that it's easy. It's not, and I learn every single day. Okay, every day. Far from perfect. I know people have this idea that I'm perfect. I am not perfect. Do I make less mistakes today than I did yesterday? Sure. But I love Butterfly. The Butterfly Effect, I love that movie. I did, and I did want to play this video because I find it super strange that, I find it super strange. Hi, KB. Listen, I know, here too, KB. Like, what the fuck? I'm over it. Um, I find it super strange that the people that Boss Lady thought she had as friends, they're not her friends anymore. Um, and I know that she, you know, you could have it all, Caitlin. Somebody sent me this video, and it's perfect.
Enforcement about y'all. Boss Lady is a very busy woman. She's scheduling highlights and planning funerals, and y'all are out here just being mean. You're just picking on her. I mean, she's so busy taking people's channels down, notifying Ellie, that's law enforcement, about y'all trolls and bots picking on her. I mean, she's so busy, most times she doesn't even have the time to show her face in her live. You just have to look at the ceiling. You know, she's fielding phone calls from Lisa.
I call it the Victoria angle. And the reason why she does that is because I'm not Brittany. And the reason why she does that is because she has been caught in so many lies, she doesn't want to show her fucking face.
She's being a paralegal. She's working fast food. She's going to prison. She has a lot going on, y'all. Oh, and don't forget about the hundreds of people that she blocks every day and all the channels she has taken down. Can y'all hear my husband snickering in the background every time I speak? Seriously, though, can someone enlighten me? Apparently I am way out of the loop on this one. I took a couple days off the old tickety talk, and y'all are wilding out. What is going on with this situation? We're holding fake funerals and what is going on? I truly need y'all to get in this comment section and explain to me what is going on. I will be anxiously awaiting your explanations, and in the meantime, I hope you are having an amazing Tuesday, and I love your freaking faces.
She doesn't. She doesn't. If my agent doesn't have the power to take a child abuser off this app, Boss Lady does not have the power. You hear me? It doesn't work like that. But people are in her comments telling her go watch the playlist, because that's another thing. I heard that somebody keeps saying that, be gross, and I typically, if I don't have proof of it, I don't like to say it, but it does make sense, right? It definitely does make sense, because I know that she's had him for a while. You want my honest opinion? She thinks that, I don't know. It's just weird behavior to me, honestly. If you're going to post something, leave it up, because people are going to see it. I don't know. I know she's had him for a while, but y'all make me be mean. I try to be nice. She did. It doesn't matter. I never like one. No, not like her. No. And you know what's crazy? This is what's crazy to me. Is the last year, in the beginning, in the beginning of my internet thing, right? I thought that Miss Ashycat was the worst liar, narcissist that I had ever seen, right? I didn't understand how I didn't quite understand that everybody has different levels of self of like self-awareness, right? I didn't quite get that. But the last year, one has been worse than the other. Don't know why. Yeah, if I delete it, didn't happen. Exactly. And this one just lies to lie. And I'll say it again, the difference between like her and Victoria is like Victoria at least, right, exactly, Naps. Victoria at least will say, I'm fucking stupid. This girl like pretends to be really smart but knows nothing. That's what's so crazy to me. I heard.
Hey, friend. Hey,
Hi,
everybody.
what's up?
Hey, I wanted to touch base when you were saying about the Ben Verified, like having your information scrubbed from the internet.
Hmm.
So there are a couple of sites that, because of my nonprofit, my partner and I have done that. But at the end of the day, I think it's one of those things. I always tell people that, because obviously we have cases that involves very dangerous people.
Hmm.
We always, recommend that unless you're going to do like a total name change, like, or go into like witness protection, the really only thing you can do is to make sure you're protected at your home. That's, kind of where we came down to, because if someone wants to find you, they're going to
They're gonna
find you,
find that. That's
you
just the
know?
truth of it, honestly. And if people know what resources to use,
Yep.
they'll get it.
And I just want to say I've never paid $75 to $200 to get people's info there.
I don't
I
even
think he got
spend
ripped off, the
$75 on
ass
my
lady.
subscriptions.
Right? That's weird.
And I have never, hi Squishy, I have never paid for a FOIA for somebody on the internet. Never. And I really
Right. That's
don't think she knew what a FOIA was until I busted her out with the lie about the police things. You know what I mean?
yep.
Well, because you can't. It's public. A lot of things are public informations, right? So you can't. You could stop one stream, but if somebody knows where to look, they're gonna find it anyway. Some people have started charging for FOIAs. Like when I tried to get the body cam footage of one of Jean's arrests, it was $300.
Yeah, we have had, there are places that, like, if you want it printed off and mailed, there's a charge. If you want
Right,
it put it on a disc, there's a
right.
charge.
And wait, I just wanted to say something about
I thought it was a pasta. You must be Italian like me, Derek Smith, because that's where my mind goes.
Pesa. I have Pesa. I really, to be honest, I really don't use it as much as I should, but Pesa does charge too if you copy.
Yep.
My lawsuit is on Pesa. My lawsuit is accessible through Pesa because I sued the city. It was federal.
Some charge, yes, per page. And I will recommend that if you're looking for like a call log of, like a FOIA information, there are a lot of counties or police departments that have like that participate in the online, like have an app or they have a Facebook page. There's a certain somebody on this app that theirs are on a Facebook page that Snarkers found. So
You
yeah.
know what else they started doing is they started making it like sometimes you'll see me post and I say I need a blank resident. That's that they started making it so that people only in the state can get those records.
Oh, okay.
Right. So that's why I have to Kentucky. I needed it with Kentucky. I needed it with
Oh, it's
Tennessee.
weird. It's weird you say that. That makes sense because I just recently logged into a site for a docket for a case and it asked if I was a resident of that state. And I
Yeah.
was like, why does it matter? But
Yeah,
that makes sense.
they're starting to change. I'm seeing it more now than I ever have.
Yeah. Well, I think because social media is people are using
I
this
agree.
information for reasons that, like, why does BS lady need the whole Lisa's whole family's record? It's weird.
It's weird. I did come across something super interesting. I got an email the other day, but I never went through it. How can I say this without?
Chrissy, remind me of that. I want to say something about that too, the redactions.
I don't think I can. But in there are two obituaries, right? And names in the most recent obituaries were changed. Does that make sense? And it's people that should have not had a name change. Like they didn't get married.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
That's
that was interesting. It was an interesting little,
yeah. I
that's
mean, you can
weird.
change your name to anything. Like I could be, Regina Phalange.
Well, but they weren't adults.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
is
little,
interesting.
it's a little interesting that they would be listed one way in one, and then a totally different way in two.
That's weird.
Strange, right?
Yeah, that is really strange.
It made me be like, huh, that's weird.
Oh, Chrissy
Oh,
had said about they charge sometimes for redaction. So I actually am working a case not through my nonprofit, but just by myself because it's a mom I connected with,
right.
Alex Vandelson. She's from Indiana, actually. There's a lot of suspicious things regarding or his passing. I'm sorry. And when his mother requested body cam and all that, it was redacted already, and she tried to have it unredacted, and they would not do it.
Was it an open case?
It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be ruled, done, closed, ruled a self-harm.
That's weird. Because sometimes there are like cases, like if it's an ongoing thing, unless there's minors. Are there minors involved?
Nope. Alex was over 18. There's a lot of questionable stuff there. He was
Yeah,
he
that's
was a
weird.
trans male in a small town. Yep. Didn't have a great reputation.
That is strange.
But the weird part is there are unredacted photos of the crime scene on a news, like a guy went and did a news article about him.
So it's somebody in that video.
Yeah, that's what they were. They blocked out Alex's body and stuff. In the pictures, they redacted names in the. Yeah, I'll have to show it to you. It's really strange. It's not like nothing I've ever seen. I was like,
Yeah.
I need these unredacted, and Jen's like, I know. I had to go and match up crime photos from that news article. It's really weird. I've never seen anything like it.
That is weird.
It's like they deliberately redacted it to give it to Jen.
Right. Every state does. Listen, not even just every state, every agency could have different protocol.
Yeah, Chrissy, I agree. I don't think Alex did that to himself. It's
Right.
just not possible.
Right. I legitimately got arrested for a crime that somebody else committed. Okay. I look nothing like the individual that committed that crime. I don't know how somebody does that.
Yeah, I don't. Did they? They didn't even have the same name, did they?
No.
I didn't think so.
Absolutely not. And we look nothing alike. And in a 6-month investigation, the only evidence they had is the cop saying that's her.
Yeah.
That's it. And we look nothing alike.
Nap. See, I think that's just so suspect to me.
What? Yeah, that's weird.
That screams foul play, and it screams involvement from the
Yeah.
PD, and I hate that. I hate that.
I don't trust the cops. I don't. That kind of changed a lot for me because my entire life was like, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. After that, knowing the situation with you and just some of these cases,
Right.
my uncle is a retired state trooper, and he was a detective. Like he, was very respected, put a lot of time in the state, and I've always had the
Yeah, but
utmost
I'm not a
respect.
snitch.
Yeah, that's true. Then there's
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have never done that. I would have. And like at the time, it was so the week before I was arrested, we had a really big snowstorm in the city, right? And the sanitation had fucked up the snowstorm. Like, granted, it wasn't them, it was what it was, but whatever. So because 3 of my co-defendants, who I never spoke a fucking word to in my entire life, okay, I don't know how they got that connection. 3 of them were sanitation workers. And so that it was front page news. My husband was in the city because he was a stockbroker at the time. And I called him and I'm like, there are 4 cops in my living room telling me I need to go with them. And he was on the ferry on the way back to Staten Island, and the arrest was already on 1010 wins. Like, it was super, like, it was saturating the media. Right, exactly. I can't imagine if I was convicted. And when they put me, I have a sanitation gang too. Shit. You're right, Naps. So when they put me in the precinct that I was in that picture, the purple picture, they didn't have different cells, holding
Team
cells
love
at the
always wins.
time,
That's what I'm thinking. Is that
right?
why she thinks you clean hotel rooms?
I don't know what she thinks. So they cuffed me to like a bar on and like a bench, but I was sitting right in front of the holding cell that the boys were in, right? And I looked at them. Oh, that's right, Lily Grace. I looked at them and I was like, "You fucking met her at my house." And he was like, "Yep." I was like, "Motherfucker," because I remembered that day. And that the last day I fought that case for 15 months. The one that I was accused of selling the hugs to, he got up. What's the word, Naps? There's a legal word for it. Like relinquish. I know. Those 95s were fucking fire. Okay. I forget what it's called. There's a word for it. But he not acquitted. No. Ed, no. He stood like, because the kid the whole time was like, I don't even know this girl. I don't know who she is. I've never even spoken to her. No, there's a word. No, not admonished. And there's a word. I don't, it'll come to me eventually. But wait, that might be it. No. So, and he said, I never knew this girl. I never met this girl. No, but he never gave a statement saying it was me to begin with. It was a whole mess, dude. I had to go into my camera and pull pictures, timestamps, because he said I had blonde hair and I never had blonde hair. So I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't know like what was going on, how big it was until I saw the reporters outside. Allocated. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was it. Because he was like, I don't even know this girl. But it took 15 months to get there. I fought that case for 15 months. 10 grand on a lawyer. So she thinks there was a loophole. No, bitch, read the documents on PESA. They're all publicly available. Weirdo. So fucking strange to me.
The worst part is that 80,000 didn't even touch that 15 months of hell and everything
Nope.
you lost.
Not at all. Not at all. Because it was front page news. Do you know how so the deli, high flyers, the deli around the corner from my house, we owned. We had sold it maybe 6 months before that, right? And I go into the deli after I get out of jail the next day, which by the way, I was on pills, so I was sick, right? I go into the deli and I'm like, give me all the papers, because my husband was telling me it's all over the place. Like, I don't even know, you know what I mean? So I'm like, give me all the papers. I'll buy them all. And he's like, we're sold out, Marg. And I'm like, sold out? You see me on the cover of the fucking paper, you don't hold them all? Like, what? You know what I mean? It was everywhere. There wasn't a news station in New York City that was not covering it because of the sanitation workers. If they weren't sanitation workers, I could have. I settled. But it was everywhere. Everywhere. And every time I went to court, do you know how many times I called that motherfucking reporter? Because every time we went to court, he'd run another article. And I told him, I said, what the fuck are you going to do when I sue them? What are you going to do then? Right? Because you're putting it on the front page of the fucking paper every time I go for a court appearance, right? What are you going to do when I sue them? I was on the front page of that fucking paper every month for a fucking year. Okay. And when I sued the city, A27, page 27. Do you know how many voicemails I must have left that motherfucker? I would curse that bitch out every time.
27 after you won the lawsuit.
Page 27.
POS. Wow.
Hi, Chuck. After they fucking slandered me
For
for a year
15
and a half.
months. Yeah. Yikes. Oof.
It was like, for what? And I would call him every time I would see it. Why the fuck are you doing this? I wasn't, yeah, it was everywhere. Everywhere. If there was a newspaper in New York, it wrote about that arrest.
Well, like you said, it was probably because of this. Yeah, the
It
sanitation
was
work.
absolutely because of the sanitation workers.
Yeah.
Because in every single article, it said sanitation workers too busy selling hugs to plow streets.
Right.
If they were not sanitation workers, those three men that I never met before in my entire life, okay, Chuck, right? It would have been on fucking the back page anyway. Do you know how many people they were arresting at that point for hugs? It would have been nothing. It would have been nothing if it wasn't for those people.
Yeah, what year was that?
2011 maybe.
So what's that? 13. What is that? 14 years ago.
I got arrested January 27th maybe, 2011. Conspiracy to distribute and one sale of Oxy.
They didn't think it was a little bit suspicious that that's what they were, quote unquote, charging you with, and you didn't have any connection to the sanitation.
So that's the crazy thing, right? I had no fucking idea, Ryan. When they knocked, we had snow, right? So my kids were home with a snow day. All right. So my daughter is like, I had like one of those glass panel doors, right? And I said, she goes, Daddy's friends are at the door. I said, let them in. What are you doing? Because they were four plain closed offices.
Right.
Okay. So I sent my kids upstairs. I'm like, can I help you? They're like, is this your name? Now, remember, all of my nursing, when you walked into my house, my desk was right to your right, right? All of my nursing books out. So he's like, oh, are you a nurse? And I'm like, no, I'm in nursing school. Why? Like, what's up? And he's like, well, we need you to come with us.
Yeah, we got the right
questions. Right. And I'm like, my kids are here. And he's like, well, you could get somebody to come and get them, or we're going to have to put them in protective custody. So I called my ex-mother-in-law, who lived like 2 minutes away. She comes on the phone with my brother-in-law at the time, who was NYPD. Right. And he's like, can you talk to him? And he's like, tell him she'll be at the 122. Right. I walk out my front door and I said, thank God you did not come in a marked car, because my neighbors would be having a field day. They picked me up in an all blacked out G35. Get in the car and they're like, do you know this person, this person, this person, this person? I'm like, no. He's like, do you know anybody that works for sanitation? So I said, yeah, but and I said the name. He's like, no, not that one. Well, I want to tell you you're under arrest. I'm like, what? For what? And they drove me to the precinct, cuffed me when I got out of the car. They brought me in front of the detective that is the detective that pointed me out. And he's like, you dyed your hair. And I was like, what? I dyed my hair. And I had gone from burgundy to black. Right? So I'm like, this is fucking weird, right? Nothing makes sense. Finally, they cuff me to the bar and I see the kid in the holding cell and I'm like, motherfucker. 6 months before that, my best friend was at my house, because she was actively using, how can I say, dust, right? At work. So her fiance called me and said, you got to go pick her up. She's all fucked up at work. I'm in the city. I can't go to get her. So I'm like, I have my kids here. And he's like, please, I got nothing. She's going to get fired, blah, blah, blah. So I go to pick her up. At the time, my two brothers lived with me, right? So I put her in my living room. I give her a cup of milk. I'll get there. I give her a cup of milk. I go upstairs with my kids, right? She sobers up. It gets like later in the day. And I run to the store to pick up dinner because my husband was coming home, right? I'm in the store, okay? He calls me and he's like, Marg, this girl's in front of your house. Oh, before I leave for the store, she's like, oh, I'm going to go meet this one. I said, take it up the block to the church. Don't do that shit in front of my house, right? I leave. My ex-husband comes home, calls me, and he's like, this girl is all fucked up in front of the house with money all over her lap. And I told her to take it up the block. Don't, like, what do you want me to do about it? I get home, get into a huge argument, get her the fuck out of my house, right? Because you blatantly fucking ignored me. 6 months later, they arrested me for that crime, right? I told her when I got arrested, I'm like, they're making me withdraw from nursing school. I wouldn't snitch, but you better fix it, right? Didn't talk to her again after that. We had been best friends for like 12 years
That they were after.
at that point in time, right?
Oh, I didn't know that part of the story. Okay.
Yep. When I got sober, when I went to get sober, she died of an OD, right? The summer before I got sober, I had been going in and out, like I was trying to get sober, right? Like I was 2 weeks relapse, 3 weeks relapse, right? I took myself off methadone. She was trying to reach out to me, right? And I knew that she was a mess. So I was like, I just can't do it right now. I just can't. I'm struggling myself, right? So I can't put myself in a situation with her where she is not conducive to where I'm trying to go, right? I never thought that I would never see her again. So I got sober and I came home for her funeral. So her daughter is actually an Instagram model. And I was just talking to her yesterday because she posted a picture of her mom. And I was like, my God, you look just like her. But her daughter's a nurse, you know? Right. I wouldn't have been. I wasn't. And I knew that. I've always been pretty self-aware. But like, you know, I never thought that I would never talk to her again. Right? Like I was mad. I was mad like my entire life. That changed my entire life. Right? And like, I fucking told you not to do it. She walked in the courtroom, actually. I was, when I was let out, she was walking in the courtroom as the judge was letting me go, and I fucking lost it on her. I was like, you better get the fuck out of my face. Because I was fucking furious, dope sick, right? And furious because I told you not to do that. You fucking ignored me, did it anyway, and my entire life changed like that. It's crazy. But that's why I sued them. Nobody thinks about that. Nobody thinks that, like, that's a thing. It's crazy.
They don't care. Those people don't care. It's just like, how much clean time do you have right now today?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. So whenever Miss BL bullshit lady is making comments about the OD queen and stuff, you're not just hurting her, you're hurting the people that have been friends with her and that were freaking helpless in the situation. So it's weird that for somebody who does so much like charity work for other places that you don't consider that too. Her family, her friends. So there's that.
Also, just so that she understands, I had 5.5 years clean, and I used and I overdosed, and I got right back up, and got time back. I like that to me, exactly. The cop. When that to me, like I don't just use and then stop using. I run. Every time, a year, 2 years, you know what I mean? I used and I was like, nope, I know what I don't want to be. That is quite literally the only thing that I am 100% sure of is that I don't want to be an active addict. It's not appealing to me.
You weren't coming back.
What?
That was my biggest fear, that you weren't coming back.
Right. Like I don't, and like the way that situation was twisted and Flyers, I'm super proud of you. And I don't think that people truly understood. You got to remember, he was using in my face for months at that point in time.
A long time, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all day, every day. You know what I mean? And it was something that the internet was not aware of.
Well, some of us were, but yeah.
Well, so I told when Hutch got arrested, right?
Yeah.
That is when I said to like when I spoke about it privately, but at that point in time, when I came to, right, And I told people that like Lily, we'll use Lily. They thought that John had my phone.
Yeah, that was a really rough time.
They
Yeah.
didn't even believe that it was real. And I'm like, no, like I'm serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nobody took it as like a, because there was just like no warning. And I think that at that point in time, I was just trying to hide the everything else that was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wasn't necessarily open about it. You follow me? No, I did, and it's not like I hid it, but like people, there were people around me that knew what was going on with
Yeah,
John.
I knew it was coming. I knew. That's the scariest part behind it. That,
Unfortunate, Riley, but
Yeah, we knew, like, her inner circle knew
yeah.
things that were going on between her and John, and
Mhm.
it was like a daily thing. We're brawling.
Right,
And but the day me and Wick got the text that she had OD'd, we were like, "What? Wait, it didn't
yeah,
even sound
Yeah,
like her."
Jabber and Judy, you are right
Like
there. Yeah.
it was just wild. And me and Whit went to a separate text. I'm like, I'm not even sure it's her.
yeah,
Should we call somebody, make sure she's okay? Has John done something? Because it was getting that way.
hmm,
Yeah. It was
And
getting really bad. That's yeah, that was a rough time for everybody. That's what I mean. It's not just hurting her, you're hurting her family when you say that. Imagine what her
yeah,
family went through. Look how much we went through with it.
right.
hmm, yeah.
So
He's clean now, but
Not, we're not
what?
going to allow somebody like that who obviously has no clue about anything
Right,
to discredit what somebody's
right, and
gone
that's
through.
what's weird to me, right? Like I would listen. I never even said things like that about Miss Ishikat. I've never said anything about
no,
that with
no,
Right,
Lisa. I do not talk about addicts that way,
right.
ever,
right.
ever, because it is such a fine line, right? There's no guarantee. The substances that are on the street these days, you got to remember when that happened, right? I was clean 5.5 years. When I got sober, there was real H on the street, right? That's not what it is anymore. It's very different. And I think that I am a firm believer in everything happens for a reason, right? A week before that, I was my mother was diagnosed with cancer, right? So those are all things that, like, if that didn't happen, I probably would have continued using, right? And I wouldn't have been there for my mother. And then that would have had catastrophic. Like I can't even think about, like, because that would have affected me. You know what I mean?
It would
So
have
like
affected
things
everything.
happened the way they did for a reason,
Yeah.
Being
Because
right?
and
you
that's
had to
one of
be
the
there for
things.
her, your
Right.
brothers
Yeah.
and
And
sisters.
exactly. And had I continued, I wouldn't have done that. I would have been in a hotel somewhere getting high. There would
Grandbaby's
have
the
been
best. That's what
no,
my mom refers to it as, is the devil. She felt like and the longer I'm clean, the farther away the devil gets. So he's with 13 years, he's like down a couple blocks, but we can
right.
still see him.
Hmm. And it's
But that's one
true.
of my biggest fears. Like I'm on Matt, and I'm proud to say that, and I will probably be on the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that. But one
Right,
of my
but Ryan,
biggest
think
fears,
about that as well, right? If you remember, I started a taper in
yes, yes,
August of 2022, right? I started a taper. So when that happened, I was on like a quarter every 3 days,
right, yeah,
right?
yep,
And that's another thing. What that was like, because I never planned on being on it for the rest of my life, right?
right,
But that was a big realization for me. It was fucking painful to go
yes,
from a quarter every 3 days back up to 16 milligrams a day.
right,
But I understood that it was necessary so that I didn't fall further back from where I wanted to be.
yep. And I think your situation helps, like me personally, I'm going to be selfish here, but it helped me in so many ways like finally accept how powerless you truly are and
Mm,
safe ways to be able to help people. Like
right.
feeling that powerless and watching it unfold and have like that's how I had relapsed after having 12 years clean. I tried to help someone get clean and you learn and I've learned so much from you. I'll, be ever be grateful for it. But
Right. And do you
that
have any
situation
idea
taught me so much.
how humbling that was? Miss Recovery Queen herself,
Right. And
right?
how that was shoved in your face.
Right.
Yes.
And it was like I think that the part of it that bothered me most, and I'll never forget that psychiatrist saying to me, but you didn't lose the knowledge, right? Like
Right.
because that
Yeah.
was what was hardest for me to come to grips with was like, what the
I
fuck
lost all
did
that
I
time.
do?
Right. And you didn't
What
lose
Yeah.
that time. Right. You
right?
just,
Like
yeah.
why did I do that? Why and like in my head, it's like I gotta start all over. Like all that
Yeah.
work for
You,
nothing.
you beat yourself up over that for
Right.
days.
Right.
Days. We had to sit there
Well,
and
yeah, a
talk to
long
you about
time.
that, you know? You did.
So the Jake, I can't say for sure, right? That's exactly what it is. I can't say for sure, but what I can say is that with the medication that she is on, right? I would be able to go 3 days without dosing and not feel a thing. However, however, the other substance that she's using, okay, is fucking with her metabolism, so she
Yeah.
probably
And
burns
pushing it
through
out.
it faster.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
just it's just burning it up. And then but I will say this, I did see a video of Lisa the other day where she said she had been a couple of days without going and her
Mhm.
pupils reflected that. So like if you've ever seen somebody in withdrawals from methadone or whatever, that's one of the
Right,
telltales on there.
right.
So yeah, pupils can be enlarged for different reasons, but
That's the problem with her is that the substance that she uses that is not prescribed would dilate pupils.
Yep.
yeah,
It's
Well, I
unfortunate.
think it's so much easier too. We got to remember it's so much easier to notice those kinds of things in people that have light eyes. Like with my eyes, there's been so many
Facts.
people that don't even know I'm on medication
Absolutely.
for ADHD and Suboxone or on that meth. You
Absolutely.
know, and you can't tell because my eyes are so
I
dark.
used to
Does
hate
that
that.
mean right? Does that mean my pupils don't dilate? Well, no, but it's not as noticeable.
Right. I used to hate that because my eyes gave me away every fucking time.
Hmm.
Every time. So I was on 180 milligrams of that medication that Lisa's on when I was on it. No, me either, nosy one. Don't get me wrong. Like I remember this is what's so fucking crazy to me. When I first met, yes, Bima. When I first met John, right, and we started dating, I got kidney stones and I was in the hospital. And they were giving me, I was really big on Toradol and Motrin alternatum. I knew that while they were both working, I'd get a little bit of relief, but it was not touching it with this specific kidney stone, right? I did. It was not touching it. So after 2, 3 days, I was like, you got to give me something, right? And I
Hold on,
remember
Bama. I'll address that in a minute.
when the guy tied me off, John had to walk out of the room. He was like, I can't watch that. I wasn't an IV user at that point, right? And he had to walk out of the room. And when he came, I didn't like it. I was like, what is this feeling? The rush, right? What is this? I don't like it. Make it stop, right? And he couldn't, he said, I could see it in your face, how your face just changed.
yeah,
When you're in active addiction, things change, right? I have good veins. I'm really lucky that I have minimal scarring from
Yeah.
IV use, and I have good veins, right? At that same hospital stay, they had my veins so fucked that they couldn't hit the vein, right? So John is like, "Do you want me to do that?" And the guy looks at John and he's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And John goes, "Heroin."
Yeah.
You had to
right.
see the guy's face. You had to see
Yeah.
he thought he was going to be like EMT. You know what I
Right.
mean?
No.
Like, oh, my arms was so bruised. And when I tell you, I have perfect veins. Perfect veins. This vein, I never had to move from So I don't understand why they were having so much trouble. And in Florida, a lot of times they use EMTs to do line placements because they're used to trauma, right? So they could hit a line. But these people didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And they're like, we got to get the best person on the floor to come in. I'm like, my veins are perfect. Perfect. I was scared of needles.
Yeah, there's lab techs that don't know what that scar. I mean, there are some that recognize it, and I will tell them. And I'm usually honest about it because I have really deep ones anyway.
They just
Uh,
sucked.
Well,
yeah, and I'll
anybody ever
say
had
that
to,
if
yeah,
you're gonna
anybody,
dig, give it to me myself. Give it to me.
right? Well, anybody I've ever had to draw on that was an IV user,
It's hard.
you can tell.
Hmm.
You can tell. I mean, it's just a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
It's like going
You
through
could feel it
rubber.
in the rig.
Yeah, it's like rubber. It's
Yeah,
literally
it's
like
like
you're
because
pushing
you
through
got to go through
rubber.
the scar tissue.
Yeah.
John's veins are awful, awful. We would be in treatment and they would try, and he's like, "You got twice more to try to stick me because that's it." After that, but I have good vein. It's scar tissue, I know, but I have good veins, so I didn't understand. And they had both of my arms right because they would hit. They tried to get this vein right after they fucked up this one. Okay. This vein is perfect,
And
y'all.
that's your left arm. Let's just go ahead and get this. This is an
Right.
inverted image.
Correct.
That's her left.
This vein is perfect. There is no reason, but both of my arms, because they had me, they from trying to stick me, okay? They had all bruises up here, all back here, both of my hands and this arm. I'm like, are you good? Like I could do it myself. They sucked. And I have pictures of my hands because they'd give me ice packs. And I'll never understand it because I have good veins.
Well, and I'll even say that. I'll say you cannot dig because number one, it pisses me off, and number two, I'm in recovery and I have family members that will ask questions. So you get it the first time or give it to me.
Listen, legs hurt bad. Legs hurt. The veins are deeper.
Bama, Bama, you had asked something about the runny nose. So yes, that actually is. But I do want to say too, like I have chronic year-round allergies and I sniffle like crazy too. So
Yeah. There's I've been sick since November. I've just kind of right, same night nurse. Same. And I remember like being in nursing school and having to go through practicals and they would tell you to use orange skin because it's the closest to human skin. No, it's not. Hi, Riz. But you could feel it. You could definitely feel the difference in it when there's damage there. Oof. And it's I'm glad, right? Orange, yeah, orange skin. They say that they used to have us practice on orange skin
We had
because
to do tomatoes for a
mhm,
while for
I would
like
think tomatoes might be easier.
yeah, tomatoes we did, yeah. But I mean it's still not saying you're never gonna
No,
100% get it close.
right.
tissue, wouldn't this orange skin be more like a scar tissue?
I would orange. You know what? It does feel a little bit better, like
You
the scar
think,
tissue.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just it's when you draw on someone like that or you're starting IV or anything it like I say it feels like going through like rubber. It's
yeah,
like you literally can feel the squeaking
yeah.
past it, you
You
know?
don't know. You don't know what you mean unless you felt it. But
Yeah,
I get it. I
yeah,
understand what you mean.
I was gonna say I have felt it. Yes, I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate that.
But like it's not something that you could explain. But when you know, you know.
yeah.
It's unfortunate. It sucks. Oh wow,
I just want
1.5
people to
years.
realize we're not proud of it. This is just part of our story. Like I'm not by any means. I
Right,
don't go in there and be like, oh yeah, I'm a recovering nerd. No, that
right,
I just do it because I
right,
want them to know. I know they know
right.
I'm okay.
I've tried to take that approach. Actually, the first time that I emailed Lisa, I tried to take that approach. Like, trust me, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. I get it. Because I think that people, if people only, I sometimes, like, I'm like, if people only knew what I was like in active addiction, because I was not the person that I am now. I think that I always there's people that follow me that knew me in active addiction, and they say that I kind of had the same heart, but I was just reckless, like super. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, even in the last 4 years that I've known you, like you've mellowed
Mm,
in a different way,
right.
and we all do. We mellow after a while, but there are still certain triggers that will, you
Yeah.
know,
Not
bring back
invincible, but like she said
confidence.
reckless. You know what? I'll read you the DM because the last time somebody tried to accuse me of using, I when towards the end of my addiction, I had a friend live with me, and that girl wound up getting sober, and I used to tell her, like I used to try, even though we were using, I would try to encourage her. She was in CNA school, and I was trying to tell her, you could do it, blah, blah, blah. So the last time somebody accused me of using, I sent her a message and I said, hold on. And I said something to her. And I said, these people have no idea. I said, can you tell me what I'm like in active addiction? Because I think that people truly just don't, like they can't see it for whatever reason. Like they see who I am now and they can't see what I was like then. It's weird.
You've shown pictures of, and I
Oh,
don't
you
think
could tell.
I don't think Em's ever been a drinker. She's drank, but she's
No,
never like was not a drinker.
never been a problem. I was I was probably about 75 pounds when I was inactive. And I really didn't take a lot of pictures. I really didn't I didn't film stuff, like I didn't do stuff like that. I kind of hid. And I think that like because I had kids, right? I had to be more cautious than like somebody else. So I said, "Hey, question. If you had to describe me in active addiction, what would you say?" She said, right? Because she lived in my house. She said, naked, bruised. LOL, kidding. I don't know, but that's a tough one. Because when I think back to then, you were always so solid and supportive in my life. At a point, you were like the only friend I still had, always helped me out. The only things that stick out are fights with John or the night you blacked out on anxiety meds. So I'm thinking about that. If I'm thinking about that, I'd say fucking wild. That one night I thought you were dead and sat up with you passed out for a while to make sure you didn't stop breathing. Reckless maybe in the sense, sorry, that ain't nobody, especially no man, telling you how to live. You were gonna do your thing regardless of opinion. I don't know why that was so difficult. And she's one of the few, because people that I was in active addiction with, like a lot of them, she's been in my lives, yeah. A lot of them aren't alive. There's very few of them that are still around and have gotten sober where I would have some type of relationship with them. You know what I mean? Thank you, nosy one. I think that I think the recovery is something to be celebrated. And I'm not one of those people that, I don't believe in lost causes. I think that anybody, as long as there is a heartbeat, there is a chance, right? I don't think that anybody is beyond help, and it's
Okay, there's 67 for those three things, and then
drop a
I think we're dropping.
here
real quick.
the
Yeah.
the Bloody Mary is like
Oh, okay.
21 years is amazing. Right, that's what I'm saying, Rat. Like they're either active or they're not here. There's very few people that have been, I don't know, but that sounded personal. And it's it's gonna be my life where somebody like joins the box on accident, and it's gonna be like
Some
somebody,
wild shit going down.
right, like something that should not be heard. That's gonna be my
Yes. Yes. Well, we kind of live for that, though, you know?
right. And listen, I went through nursing school with an addiction, graduated with an addiction, right? Granted, it wasn't something that had gotten to like my rock bottom yet, but hi Jersey Fran, how are you? But I did it. So I was very functioning until I wasn't. Yeah, I was very different. I went the other way. Thanks, Jersey Fran. I went the other way. I hid it a lot, you know. Hi, Miss Robinson. Yeah, no, because I was a stay-at-home mom. Don't get me wrong. Let me backtrack a bit. No, my daughter is my youngest. When she was ready to go to preschool, I put her in the preschool on my college campus, and I went to school. So I carried 17 credit semesters with two kids, and I did that for 7 years, right? So I don't, was I working? No, but I was a full-time student. Does that make sense? And I don't know why people have this idea that I didn't raise my kids. Like, yeah, in addiction. Not the worst of it, though. I didn't really get to the worst of it until like 2016, 2017. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying, Savannah. Do you know what a bitch it was every semester? Because they knew I had to take a hug test, right? So every year, every semester when I would go and register for clinicals, they'd look at me crazy. Like, so I would have to give them my MRIs, letters from my doctors to prove that like I had a legal reason to be on the medication. I could probably still at this moment walk into a doctor and get anything that I want because my back is fucked, but it's not what I want.
Right. It's not your choice to do
Right.
that.
And I know, I said this to Tech recently. It doesn't, there's only like, that is the only thing that I know, like without a doubt, that I don't want. Right. Like hugs never made my problems better. They never made my problems easier. It was just like a compounded problem. Like I still had all these problems and then I had a hug problem on top of that. You
Well,
follow
listen,
me?
like even when you had, your kidney stones and stuff, and like I knew you were in pain. I could hear
Yeah.
you were in pain and stuff, and I'm like, you've got to go. You got to go get something for, and you're like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I
And I
really,
mean,
I try not to open that door. I have had to take meds like in hospitals, but I will never leave with the prescription.
no,
It's always done in a hospital like type facility. But I like even when I had my teeth done, nothing. I took nothing.
yeah,
I had a mouthful of stitches for 7 weeks. I did nothing.
but still, I mean, it's because you know the other side.
Right.
You know
And
the other
and,
side.
and to me, it was like I can't, like it's just not something that I would open the door to,
Yeah,
because it's not, it doesn't, just for me, it doesn't necessarily get me anywhere, right? Like I had to take, it does, Snorkers, it does. But, and I'll say this last year, right? I, this is the most my back's hurt in years, because I lived in Florida, like the cold, damp weather just changes it. But when my mom, like towards the end with my mom, I went to my doctor because I had never been filled with like, I'm not really an anxious person, if that makes sense, right? But at that point, I just felt nothing but anxiety. So I went to my doctor and I said, I need something for anxiety, non-narc, obviously. And he gave me Buse bar, right? Did fucking nothing, okay? And I never even, I was just like, fuck it, guess I'm dealing with it. Like it just is what it is. And I went back to therapy.
yeah.
Yeah, Kat, I don't know that it is. I think that the CEO is going to try to come to an agreement with Trump, to be honest. What do you think, Lily?
I think so too. I
Mhm.
think that there something will be worked out. Anyway,
Yeah.
there's too much money on this app
Mm,
for it just to
yeah.
kind of go away. There's
And
way too
and
much
that
money.
I don't know if you hear when I said like I feel bad for the people with the small businesses because it truly has
Yeah,
changed their life.
there are a bunch of them. I mean, I'm not even talking about TikTok shop. I'm talking about one, two small mom and pop thing, whether
Right,
it's at
that's what I
home or whatever.
mean.
Yeah, like they really had grown a following and their
Right.
brand and all that. So Um,
Right, that's what I think. I think that I saw a video of oh no, grandbabies, I'm sorry. Right, Erin.
sorry to hear
I
that.
think a lot of people do, and I think that that is going to be where the the fix lies, because isn't that what Trump is about? The
Yeah.
American businesses.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's, I mean, I haven't even begun to download anything else, because I'm good with what I've got now. Like I don't Lemonade, I haven't even looked at it. I just heard it's just like, basically what like a Pinterest.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one? I don't know what favorite
There's
is.
favorited. A lot of people are going to favorited, and that red whatever the fuck. Yeah,
Yeah, the red
grandbaby,
note,
I'll
that's
find them
wild.
for you. But
Oh
I'm
my
not.
God. I
Guess
saw
what?
videos.
It's gonna be the same shit that I got on TikTok.
I know. Well, well, see, it'd be easier for you because you're already established on YouTube,
This is
really
true.
well. So you can do well
That's
there.
my
Like,
biggest regret is not
yeah.
building my YouTube with my TikTok.
I've been telling people to do it for the last year.
Yeah, Ryan. She's been telling your ass.
Maybe not publicly, but I
I
have been
know.
telling
I've
people
only
since it started being a
see, but
topic, Spanish Dad.
yeah, no, she has.
I've been telling Spanish Dad, you
I've
better start moving
I've built my
traffic.
platform.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like I've always been a quality over quantity person when coming to build my platform.
Mhm.
And like I can't even go live with boxes. Like
There
I
he
just that's
is.
just never been important to me. So when these is
Ask
Spanish
him.
dad in here?
Ask him. How many times did I
Spanish
tell you
dad.
to start getting the traffic over to your YouTube? How many times?
I'm there with you, Spanish dad. I didn't listen either.
But he's fallen in love and shit. So
I
he's had
know.
his mind
I know.
elsewhere. So
He texted me like I
Yes,
don't
we'll use
talk
that
to
excuse
him
for me too.
every day like we used to.
Aaron, did you mean to send a request for the box? Aaron,
And he
just letting
texts
us
me and
know.
he's like, I'm just checking in, homie. What's good? And I'm like, I feel like I never talk to him anymore.
I know. But
Oh,
he's in a
really?
good place. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm happy for him. You know
yeah.
what I mean? I'm not gonna be rain on his whole happy I'm in love thing. Do you, babe?
I think I've seen a creator or two like do like a dual live between TikTok and Favorited, and they just act like Favorited. You can get away with so much shit over
Oh,
there.
really? For now.
Yeah, I don't know for how
For now.
long, but yeah, like you could say and do whatever over there. But
Yeah,
I don't
I've
know.
been hit with 2 restrictions since I've been live.
Have you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
bless them.
I
I'm
know.
afraid of what people are going to do tonight, like worrying like what kind of crap's going to go on this app between now and midnight when people start getting even more nervous.
It's going
There's
to be
going to
worse
be some
tomorrow. Everybody thinks it's ending at midnight tonight, but it's not
I
midnight.
know, I
Yeah,
know.
it's
That
11:59 p.m. tomorrow night, and it's
Yeah.
going to hit the fan. I've already heard a lot of
I
Oh,
think
chatter.
because
I think
freedom of
people are gonna
speech is
start
being,
dropping.
listen, I understand what the argument is, how uh national security would trump freedom of speech, but really, national security? Like, I think that
Um,
that's a figment of their imagination.
do these people? They must not have lived through Y2K. Remember,
Yeah, remember
the
Yeah.
that?
world was
We
gonna
thought
end.
everything was gonna shut down.
And when you think about all the other apps that have already been hacked and had things like that happen all over the place, come
You
on.
see that, Lily?
Yeah, I see that.
We got to get our accounts ready.
All I do know is, I just started this year building a business and doing
Right.
this and changing my life from the bullshit that it was into something different. And it's just really scary because, like, I haven't been doing it long enough to have a lot of private clients yet and stuff like that. So I'm just like,
I know.
I'm kind
I
of
feel the
leaving it up
most
to,
sorry for people like that.
So
and
sometimes,
I'm,
Aaron, you know how it is though, like when one door closes, another one
That's
hmm
opens. So
right.
just maybe that may
I
be a
know.
different way for you to go,
Isn't
you
that
know?
I'm,
crazy? That's
I'm
what's so
leaving it.
crazy to me. Like you're banning one app because it has ties to ByteDance, but then you're telling everybody you made the other Chinese-owned app #1 in downloads last week. Where's the fucking reasoning there?
And then finding out, what Chinese think of us and what we think of them, and like people
Yeah,
are learning that it's not what we thought it
right.
was. You know,
My
that's
my
Hmm.
it's
daughter has been
wild.
using it, and she said that that there's a lot that people are uncovering regarding like what our government tells us about the Chinese lifestyle and what they're told about us.
I
Yeah.
So it's
saw
pretty
a
cool.
gentleman, a video. It was a gentleman from China saying, I didn't realize that the American dream wasn't the American dream anymore. It was a guy saying this, and I was like stunned. But Lily, you are
Wait,
right. I'm
do I
kind
have
of
a
trying.
husband on Red Note? Is he over there?
Yeah,
Do I need to
Maybe.
Probably.
go
you
Yeah,
over
got
there
probably.
to find my husband that I'm married to in another country?
well, you got
Oh,
like two or
yeah,
three
that's where he
husbands at this
is.
point. You
I've
know.
been
And a whole fiance.
a
Yep.
serial wedding
And
person.
she
You
has
know?
all their kids that she hasn't raised either over there too.
Yeah, they're all over
Right.
there too.
That too.
No,
These
I
Man.
people
do
are
want to
deleting
guys,
their
we're
agree with
just
Lily,
accounts
though,
kidding.
and
though.
stuff. That's crazy to me. Like, why are you deleting
We're
your
just
account? I'll
kidding.
wait until it goes down if it's going down. I'm not going to delete my account and say my goodbyes. Like,
Oh no, me either. Me either.
Do y'all know
Wait.
if Lemonade is already like transferring our accounts from here to there? Because I've already had two
Mm,
people
right, me
request me
too.
on Lemonade, and I'm like, I'm not on there. How the hell are they moving my shit
me
over?
too. It
How's the
linked my
baby,
Yeah.
lemonade
Blah?
in my bio. It's weird. And I don't have
Blah
a
I've been
is
lemonade.
getting notified in this app that I have people
yeah,
over
same.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
Blah
Yeah.
is in the chat is a responsible parent. Every time she posts a picture of her kid, guess what she does? She puts a
Covers the
fucking
face.
sticker over that kid's
Yep.
face.
Yep.
Responsible parenting.
I want y'all to think about what you just said, though. So they're having an issue with China having access to our information, et
Right.
cetera, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But we're not even signed up for Lemonade, and Lemonade already is having access to all of our information. It is a major control thing when their
Uh,
time and money could be so much better invested into the fact that
Hmm.
human trafficking rates and school,
don't say
pupils.
braggedy. If you say anything about trafficking, somebody is going to go on a whole long
Yeah. Don't.
monologue
Yeah.
saying
Yeah,
that
don't
we
do
are
that.
trafficking people.
Someone already
Oh my
said she put up a
gosh.
big long video, I guess. Can't
Oh,
wait to see
fuck
that.
me. Oh, damn. My phone was going nuts. Uh, what's it called? Somebody just asked me about my opinion on Lori. I did discuss it briefly. I think that everybody should ignore her. And please don't ask Andy about it because she's trying to provoke a reaction out of him, right?
Yep, she is.
So let's just remember that and leave it be.
I agree with
I
everything.
think I don't know if I need to make a
Mostly,
video for my Chinese spy or if I can say goodbye to my
I
Chinese
don't
spy
know.
here or what. Like, I'm
Insanity going
sure
on.
whoever's been assigned to you is
And
like, wow.
honestly, I know a lot of people are scared that TikTok is going to end here tonight or tomorrow night at midnight, whenever.
Oh my God, her voice hurts
But the
so
lies that are being made up to bait you to go follow them on other platforms,
much. I'm dead.
please tell me
Everybody's
people
already followed my YouTube.
Who?
this
Oh
stuff.
my
This is
God.
See,
a
she's
bait.
so
This
jealous. Look at this
bitch.
My
shit.
YouTube has been established, bitch.
I've been working on my YouTube
It's
for,
written in
I
your
don't even
face,
know, several
screaming in the
months.
screen, and you guys are all falling for it.
Oh, she told
She's
somebody
big
I was.
mad.
Hold on. She told somebody I was having a mental breakdown in my life. Okay. I don't.
Really?
Has anybody ever seen me have a public mental
No,
breakdown
not
Nope.
not no,
Never.
not in
in
five
my
Nope.
years.
lives?
No.
We laugh in my lives. Hi, find out,
I do want to clear a couple things up.
babe.
And
Just so you know, you couldn't clear anything up if you were made of fucking Windex,
It's
bitch.
all still mud. Still mud.
and just leave it at this
Liquor
because this
cheaper
is
than mud to
literally, I feel
me.
like I am in a bad acid trip and I've never taken acid in my life.
That sucks for you.
That sounds like a lie.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to get on about English's live last night. I
Oh,
reached out to
English
her a
was
few
live.
times, never heard back.
I didn't see it.
She got off lunch.
English know, just so everybody knows, English knows that you're a psychopathic liar now. Okay, so
At 3 or 4 o'clock, she asked me if I would join her for a live. I told her absolutely.
oh my god, this is fucking
I want
long,
the
y'all.
comments off because I need to focus on things that I want to talk about. That's why I
Lies. You want to
Yeah, she
focus
said
on
Yeah.
no.
lying about people? Got it.
hated doing lives because I would, trail all over the place.
Now she can truly talk to herself.
I told her comments had to be off. I would absolutely address things, but I told her
With
that I
lies.
put a call into my attorney. I had to make sure I wanted to be sure if he had filed the paperwork yet.
He hasn't.
It wasn't the typical attorney that I use.
You don't have
Africa,
any
I
legal
thought.
basis, you weird bitch.
She says she needs to talk to her attorney, but she just told somebody yesterday that her attorney and her paralegal are in Africa and not responding to her calls or her texts.
Shut
Not
up.
Africa. Not Africa.
Investigation group that I went through.
Investigation
David
group.
and Tony, and they're the ones doing it. And when I talked to them initially,
Do you think that you could get better information because the address that you had for me was wrong? I don't have a restraining order. Raggedy's business was wrong. So maybe, and if you can't put $5 in your gas tank, you ain't paying shit.
And my house
Right.
was wrong.
on
I'm
said
dead.
people, they told me if you ever want to file a cease and desist, let us know. We'll get you in touch with.
I will save you the money and tell you that I would not abide by the cease and desist. I would quite literally rip it up right in front of your fucking face because I
I'd rip
don't
it up.
lie about you. And the truth is what? Protected speech.
Yeah, if she sends me a cease and desist, I'm gonna do the
Someone
exact
just getting out of
opposite.
Hey, PS lady, you could actually make one yourself.
Have it notarized, file it with
Proofread
Yeah,
it.
online for pretty cheap.
Is anybody gonna abide by a cease and desist?
Nope.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I have half the nerve to send her an online cease and desist just for shits and giggles.
Oh, you know what? Where's Shafty when you need her?
I know. She can
But she
draw one
could,
up, but you better
yeah, she
proofread
could
it.
do her own. She could do her own. Save your money, boss lady.
But I could get one from an attorney for legitimately free. He wouldn't charge me anything.
I had not heard back from him. I know that our local courts kind of close early on Fridays.
No, this is
So
Wait.
I hadn't heard back from him. So I did not want to comment on those two individuals until I heard back from him.
He said he's in Africa.
Pretty much, I'm going to go live.
ChatGPT.
Backtracking.
I
Brilliant.
don't know. My life is very busy.
Her life is very
If I
busy.
can't get on live, I will on YouTube. And I will address a lot of crazy insanity stuff going around.
Please do.
WTF girl. And the only reason I know about her is I heard names of other people, Reaper or whatever it is. I don't know who she is.
Stop
Been
lying.
talking Reaper
She
for a
is
while.
such a liar.
WTF girl says that my son can't play ball, which is hysterical. Then said that I live in government housing, collect food stamps, and that I'm an only child.
Well, she's not an only child.
Those
That's
are definitely.
I didn't even say that.
I'm Catholic, so we don't.
somebody probably said that she has like only child syndrome, but
Yeah.
but she's not an only child.
We don't have like. Anyway, I'm Catholic. I am Roman Catholic, so I have a very large, humongous family.
Should we be at church today then?
In fact, I have 2 adopted siblings as well. My parents did adopt children. So that was great, but no. Anyway, I will clear up a lot of inconsistencies.
Girl, you can't clear anything up because you're a liar.
So I wanted to tell you something, Dylan. And I'm working on getting some more stuff to kind of back this up. But I honestly believe, and I'm being so like, this is just really me thinking about it, me looking through everything, me listening to everything.
Mhm.
I don't think that this was a random coincidence, like a random situation. I'm gonna be honest. I think that this lady has been watching me for a while, and I think that she has been watching a lot of people on this side of things for a while.
I agree.
I'm telling you, I think she has probably seen every video that I've ever made. I think that anybody that I've associated with, she has watched in some way, shape, or form. I'm gonna be so honest with you because this is weird.
How do
said things that I have said word for word.
how do you
It's
get
weird.
everything wrong and still expect to be credible is what's wild to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thinking too. So a lot of the stuff that she said she's done and all that, like
Right.
she's literally came off a playbook off of Margaret.
Right.
Like she's watched some shit, and it's just amazing to see her try to meld her life into it, but still falling short. Like every
Right.
single time, you cannot be the master of everything and nothing at the same time. She's definitely watched y'all. She knows who you are.
She's never going to beat me because she doesn't have the capacity to be honest.
That's facts.
All right,
That's
hold
what's
on.
up.
There's still like another 4 minutes.
Stories that have gone
I've been
around.
saying for years, word for word.
Hobby
Yeah.
It's weird.
and all that, but I'm not. My main goal getting on here was to help people get into treatment, show people that there is a life after rehab, treatment, prison, everything. I was inside of prison. I was not on the outside. I didn't get kicked out.
I'll say it.
When I first went down, I said that I have gotten granted a judicial release, which I did not file. My attorney filed that for me. Mike Bosky filed my judicial for me. I told my mom to tell him not to file. He did anyway. And I was pulled from prison.
What?
I wanted to finish it out just because it was a shorter probation. I didn't want 3 to 5 years probation. I don't have time to go and check in and do all that stuff. I just don't.
Yeah, you busy, girl. I know. You
Of
busy.
course, at the
You
time I
busy.
did. I was an addict.
Right.
Not
That's what I was going to say
wild as
now.
some of the addicts that have been online, but pretty bad. But I will clear a lot of that up.
No, you won't.
I never body shamed until I was shamed first. Gonna get
That's
that
a
out
lie.
again. And I will probably say that every single video.
So clearly she's proving that she has no capacity to take responsibility for anything.
Until it drills into you guys' heads. She came at me first. And please, she needs to take down that video.
No.
With that
Nope.
filter.
No.
Nope.
Teeth in,
No.
because it looks like literal chiclets. It does not look like real teeth. I don't know what kind of
Girl.
filter, but that made it look worse.
Go to an orthodontist before you speak on anybody else.
I'm gonna be honest.
That was just bad. That was bad.
Better than you do, and I said
And again, not to body shame, but
it was ugly.
someone should have told her that it was bad.
Inside her mouth has to be like hamburger meat at this point.
It's one of those people that are like that they say like those people. Girl, let me assure you something, okay?
Show them your fake boobies.
Right. You are gonna have to do a little bit better, okay? If you think that you're in a place to body shame fucking anybody. Do you understand? Because you're not. You're not.
Yeah.
And this video makes you look even more ridiculous. So thank you.
Also, hers are natural, by the way.
Yeah, I don't have implants. That's also been dismantled a bunch of times as well.
Yeah.
It's weird that people think that I have implants, but I don't. I also weigh about 100 pounds. So like, you really, like, you shouldn't be body shaming anybody. Do you like it if we, do you like it if we start doing that to you?
I love she makes fun of the way I do my makeup too, because does she not realize how many big, like, well-known makeup
Right.
brands have reached out to me? Let's be so freaking honest right now.
Right. And like, what's so funny to me is the people that she talks to in DMs, they send us all the screenshots.
Yep.
Yeah, we find out what's all really been said. So
They right. And like, they're not really there for her.
I'm gonna get tonight. I'm gonna get home, take my, normal clean.
take your medicines. Take your medicine.
I sit down and settle down, have time, I will go live and answer a few questions that have been sent to me on TikTok. If you have more questions, keep them coming. I think they're
Go get it,
great.
guys.
I've received a lot of questions, and I appreciate all of them, and even the ones that are a little off the, out of pocket.
But she
Girl,
turns the
you're
comments
out of
off.
pocket. You're out of pocket. Throw the whole human being away.
On YouTube. To the person who tried, well, I'll cover that tonight.
Question, right.
Anyway, talk to you guys soon.
Question number 1. Are you capable of being honest? Right?
Question number 2.
Yeah.
I got one. Have you ever been to rehab at all?
Yeah. Question number 3. Why did you feel it was appropriate to lie about me, Nookie, and Raggedy saying that we did something with child porn when you know damn well that was a video you posted? You know what? Maybe I'll make the video of questions. And y'all could just have at it.
Question number 4: How are you a paralegal, but you didn't know that you can't just pick up the phone and call the FBI?
Girl.
Question number 5. Where do you come up with this crazy shit? 6.
Question number 6.
Have you had a mental evaluation? Question number 6,422.
And 11.
Where are your receipts? The biggest question still standing. By the way, where's this audio where she called my county courthouse and she was going to release it the other
Oh
day?
yeah, right.
Where's that audio?
Raggedy, it's with the video from Lisa's house.
I
Yeah.
cannot.
Also, another question on the part about phone calls and stuff. Let's hear anybody's phone call that you've recorded, because I don't think anybody from us
I
or
looked.
there has talked with her.
And I hope those people don't live in a two-party consent state
I
either.
looked. I
Yeah.
tried. That's the first route that's the first Google search that I did after I saw that video. I tried. I also tried with Tay, and
No.
No naps. Tennessee is a one-party consent state.
I'm telling you, Joni. Hi, Pippi.
She's had braces since braces were a thing.
She is the first person to ever have braces.
And it's in her contract that she has to wear them for life.
I can't.
She's a walking advertisement.
Stealing $5 out the tip jar for gas.
Also, another question is you said that you made $128 in one live, but your Tick Leap says that you made $60 in a month.
I cannot. Well, she also is going to be. She claims that she's going to create a burner account so that she can, I guess, stalk everybody and nobody will ever know it's her. Does she have any idea how many burner accounts we've been able to debunk over time of people trying to play hide and go seek?
Also, we have burner accounts for our burner accounts.
Facts.
See, I don't, but my friends do.
Me either
clearly.
anymore. So when
But
I
you
walked
can
away,
stalk away, baby. You don't need a burner. Stalk away.
when I retired in September of 2023, I deleted all of my alts, every single one.
She said she needs a case of rubber bands for all that steel today.
I'm
I
Sally.
only have one burner account, and nobody's ever been able to figure out it was me. And there's only one person on this app that knows that it's my burner account, and that's only because I told her.
Whoever's in the Discord, go tell them that she plans on doing a live, and we're going to get a whole list of questions ready.
Yeah,
Anybody has
and
any questions?
don't turn the comments off. Don't turn the comments.
Listen,
where's
know
WTF?
those comments are going off, babe.
Where's WTF in her list of 44 already?
Oh yeah, bet we're
I
ahead
love
of the
her
game,
list.
bitch.
I love her list. I love her.
WTF cracks me the fuck up.
She doesn't even have enough followers to go live. Like, not on YT or TikTok. And I mean, I know that there's a way to do it on YT without 1,000, but I'm being so honest, I don't feel like she's competent enough to know how to do that.
That's what I wanted to know, how she figured out how to go live like that.
I don't think she knows how.
Well, boss lady, why don't you just come in here, girl? Grab a box. Who there?
I'm sure she's in here already. I know, two of a kinds, we know.
Yeah, she talks a lot of shit for.
I don't think it's gonna go well.
Find out.
I don't think it's gonna go well.
But I don't think she could figure that out.
I'm gonna end because I feel like I've been here for 6 hours.
That's
I
a
did
lot.
post my my Facebook, my public. I have private pages that I don't really let anybody in these days. But I did post my public pages just in case, and you all know where I'm at on YouTube. And I'll make a list of questions. I know. I'm sorry.
I hope she finds out about copyrights over there real easy.
No, don't tell her.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
just let
saying.
that go.
Let her
LG,
find out.
Just hope.
don't help a girl out.
Let
I'm
her find
not
out.
helping her. I'm just saying. I hope she finds out, because she's not smart enough to comprehend that. Google is not her friend.
Absolutely not. I hope everybody has a good. I don't know. She didn't really say. But I think it's gonna go swimmingly. You know.
We'll know about it as soon as it happens.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I hope everybody has a good night. Don't be a piece of shit today. Don't be like this girl.
Love you all.
Think that like the damage isn't done, because it very much is. It's fucking weird that you're still making videos talking about attorneys when you have no legal leg to stand on.
Favorite.
Okay, it's really super strange to be an addiction advocate and talk the shit that you talk about nothing that you don't know about. So, right. Maybe I'll go to Africa when the house sells. I hope
I
everybody
know.
has a good night.
We all want cease and desist too, please.
Right.
Thanks,
And
Buffy.
boss
And get
lady,
the address right.
save your
Yeah.
money, babe. I would quite literally rip a cease and desist up right in front of your face. Okay?
I would do it too, as a
Have
celebration.
facts. Have a good night,
Yeah.
guys.
Love
Bye.
Bye.
y'all.